What's up, guys? So, today I wanted to talk to you guys about basically caring about the opinions of other people. Firstly, to go into this, I want to say that I think it's very important to read because a lot of the things that I'm sharing with you guys are from, firstly, life experiences, and secondly, the fact that I'm able to find an intersection between my life experiences and the life experiences of others based off of what I'm reading. And what I'm starting to realize is that a lot of us at the surface level have the same issues and the same problems and the same things that we worry about and that we think about on the surface level. And we might not openly admit it, but it's the truth. You know, a lot of the things that I read, I find, oh, I'm dealing with the same thing. It may be a different circumstance, but again, at a surface level, it's the same thing. So I would encourage you guys to read more and to find things that resonate with you. That way, you can kind of learn how to approach problems like this when they arise. So, the reason why I want to talk about the opinions of others is because I feel like that it really hinders us and stops us from being our most truest individual unique selves, right? I also feel like that can hold us back in so many areas in our lives, you know. A book that I've read, um, called Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. He was basically a Roman emperor, philosopher, stoic. And I'm paraphrasing here when I say this, but in his book, he talks about this and he says that we care about ourselves more than we do others, but for some reason, we care about the opinions of others more than we do our own. And, you know, that really rang with me because this book was written in AD 121 or 18 between 121 and 180, right? And it still rings true today. Even today, we care about what people think about us more than we should, way more than we should, right? At an unhealthy stage. And I'll give you an example. 2004, 2005, I got into skateboarding, right? In the beginning, I got into it because I actually enjoyed skateboarding. Like, I actually enjoyed it, right? And then at some phase, it got to a point where I began to enjoy it because it's what everyone else liked. And then that transpired into something. Now I want to do it because everyone else likes it, and now I want to impress people. And a lot of us do that in one way or another. In one way or another, we do that, or we have done that, or we are doing that now. And I had that awareness, and I'm saying to myself, well, I don't even enjoy this because I only enjoy it unless there's people around me and that I'm impressing people. Now I went from a passion to a burden. It went from a passion to a burden, like that. And a lot of us today, even today, a lot of us are living our lives like that. And that's why I wanted to make this video, because we have to stop, right? There's another book I'm reading called Mindset, and the author talks about how a lot of us are in this stage where we're always trying to prove ourselves to people rather than improving ourselves. And there is a difference. There's a big difference, because when you're proving yourselves to people, it's always you're doing it for some other reason other than the fact that you need to grow, that I need to grow, that I need to work on myself, that I need to practice, that I need to focus. It's no longer intrinsic. It's because of something else outside of yourself that you want to do this, whatever that is. When I had this realization back in 2004, or when I was skateboarding, I started to grow on that a little bit, and then um, I wanted to stop because a big thing for me is mental freedom and freedom from everything else outside of myself, whether that be mentally, spiritually, financially, in the sense of relationships with you have with other people. Freedom, like, at its root, what we all want is freedom. We want freedom, and we can say that America is free and all this BS, but I we're still not there yet, right? Being in a country that dislikes you from being a certain color or believing in a certain faith, to me, that doesn't advocate freedom. But again, in a sense, that's because that's external to ourselves. And when we start to look inside and work on those things, it becomes different. An example I have for you guys is when I went to prison, I went to Nottoway, which is basically, it's half intake, half population. Intake is where you go, you get transferred to a bigger prison, a bigger prison. And I was there for intake. I had done a lot of reading before I went there, and one of the things that I needed to work on, and I did work on, was caring about the opinions of other people. So I got to Nottoway, and two dudes came up to me. I think they were affiliated. I think they were Bloods. I had waves in my hair, right? And basically they were insinuating that, because I had waves in my hair, that I had all the bitches, I had all the hoes, I had all types of girls and stuff like that, right? And first and foremost, at the time, I was a little bit more mature than that. The other thing is that I was also married at the time. They were basically trying to figure out who I was as a person. They were trying to interrogate me without making it seem like they were interrogating me. So they were basically trying to figure out, if I had all the girls, if I had all the hoes and stuff like that. And what I told them is I basically said, nah, bro, like, I'm married. I'm not doing shit like that. And basically, I think where I'm going with this is that they took that as, oh, I've never heard anyone say anything like that ever before. So this dude is gay. They were trying to, it didn't work, but they were trying to spread rumors in the pod that basically I was gay. They were trying to spread rumors that I was gay and shit like that, but it didn't work. After that, I had a OG, we call him Unk in prison, we call him Unk, somebody older than us. A lot of times they're already in gangs, and they've already been through it all. He was in the pod, like a few pods down from me, cells. He was a few cells down from me. Came up to me, and he was like the OG of the pod. So he came up to me. He was like, you all right? Because I would sit by myself. I would mind my business. And I said, yeah, I'm good. He asked me too. He's like, are you gay? People in prison ain't afraid to say what they gotta say. So he asked me if I was gay. I said, no, I'm not gay. And I basically said those dudes would probably spread rumors that I'm gay because I made a comment about me being married, and I'm not chasing after hoes all the time like they would expect me to. He said, yeah, I feel you. He said, you got pictures or whatever. In prison you don't really show pictures of your kids and your wife and stuff like that, but it was somebody new, so I showed him. I'm like, okay, you got like, beautiful little family. And he said, don't even worry. Basically, what he was telling me was, don't even worry about these little, punk ass dudes, cause they not where you at. In prison, a lot of times, when you're not talking, when you're not engaging, when you kind of minding your business, people will come up to you because they're trying to figure out how you are as a person. And he was basically telling me that these dudes was basically afraid of me because they couldn't figure out who I was, because I wasn't in everything. I wasn't talking. I wasn't engaging. I wasn't running my mouth. I was just kind of chilling, minding my business. So, he went and handled that because, he kind of ran that whole pod. But it just showed me that it was confirmation for me that I ain't have to tell them what they wanted to hear. I said what I needed to say. And that was liberating because, especially in a place like that where you don't think that no one would understand. They do understand. And that's part of being real. Not just saying what they want to hear, but saying what it is that you have to say. And keeping at that. And you don't have to be disrespectful about it, but you can say what you need to say. Absolutely. And you can say it in a meaningful way, and you can say it without being rude. Absolutely. There's ways to do that. That was big for me, and I kind of just grew from that because I just learned that it's okay for me to be me and to say what's on my mind. As long as it's not intentionally or inadvertently hurting somebody out of a sense of unawareness, it's okay for me to say that. I don't want myself or my friends or you guys to live your life always trying to appease people, because that puts a giant buffer in your true growth, your true self. That's what we want for ourselves. We want true growth. We want to be able to actually improve ourselves and not prove ourselves to other people. For me, one is long term and one short term. Obviously, the long term is being when you improve yourself. That's long term. When you're trying to prove yourself to other people, that's short term, because people come and go. And I also know that when people go home, they're not thinking about you proving yourself to them. Not like you think they are. They got other shit going on, and that's just another reason. It's just freedom. Just free yourself from that. If you have things that you like that the people around you don't like, fuck it. Who cares? As long as you're not hurting these people, who cares? If you black and you like country music, listen to fucking country music. Who cares? If you white and you talk like you black, who cares? Who gives a fuck? Oh well. Do you. And again, as long as you're not hurting people, or you're not intentionally offending people out of ignorance, do you, man? Or do you, sis? And what I'm not encouraging people to not change in the sense of doing better. That's why I said proving yourselves and improving yourself are different things. Obviously, you want to improve yourself. There's nothing wrong with improving yourself. That's a good thing. But when you always have this perpetual need to always prove yourself to somebody or to appease somebody and everybody, that's unhealthy, because it never stops. And then you're never happy because you always have to play catch up. Nobody wants to do that. So be comfortable, be you, do what you like to do. As long as it's not hurting, people around you in some form or fashion, do you. You know what I'm saying? Don't do shit because you want to prove yourself to other people. Only person that you have to compare yourself to is the person that's in the mirror when you look at yourself in the morning. Who God expects you to be. Just keep your head up, man, and don't try to appease people. Don't worry about the opinions of other people. When people come over to the house, that's friends with my wife, I tell her I'm not gonna change because this person here, I'm not gonna change. I think a part of her doesn't like that. because she knows how I can be. But I know for the most part, most of the people I know respect that, because he's not gonna switch up on me because this person's here. That's how I am. That's how I am, and that's how it's gonna stay. So, just wanted to share that with y'all, man, and encourage y'all to just do you, man. And if you like music, do music. If you want to rap, rap. If you want to do art, do art. Just do you, man. And as long as you're not hurting people around you, you know, offending people, or just being ignorant, being stupid, do you, man. And speak your mind. Stay positive, man. I hope you guys learned something, man, from this. And I know it was unexpected, but I wanted to share that with you guys. And yeah, if you guys learned something from this, then just share your story in the comments below. Give it a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button if you feel like that you can get something from this channel. And again, man, share your story. I would love to see what y'all have to say in terms of you trying to appease other people. So stay positive, keep your head up, and I look forward to sharing the next video that I have for you guys. God, peace, and love, you guys. All right, peace.